Hello everyone, my name is Paulina and this is Yoga for Beginners. If you're new to my channel, you might want to take a look at my previous videos where I show you different easy exercises, warm-ups, and in general this channel is dedicated to complete beginners in yoga. So people who don't exercise, maybe are not used to stretching, maybe find things like sitting cross-legged on the floor challenging, and so on. So all my videos are easy, I explain everything very slowly, and I think you might find it interesting. Today I'd like to talk to you about sitting. We all sit for long periods of time, every day, throughout the day. We sit on couches, we sit in cars or on chairs. Usually we sit in one position with our legs down on the floor. It's not great for our blood circulation. It's not great to not move throughout the day. This is why I'd like to encourage you to try to sit in different positions, to also try and sit on the floor, like I'm sitting right now. But you might also want to sit like this, even on your couch, or even when you're sitting on a chair. You can also sit cross-legged on a chair, even in a car. Of course, not while you're driving, but if you're a passenger, you can. I very often sit cross-legged as a passenger. So maybe when you're watching TV or you're reading a book or even you're working, you might want to change up your sitting game a little bit. So there are many different ways to sit. The way I'm sitting right now is a very popular way, sitting cross-legged simply, or they call it the easy pose or Sukhasana in yoga. What's important here is to engage your core muscles, okay, and keep a straight back. I know that this might not be easy for everyone. If you're not used to sitting like this, it might be challenging. This is why today I'd like to show you a few ways to make it easier. But before I do that, I want to show you a couple of other ways to sit, which you might want to try. Okay, so sitting cross-legged, this is the first position. Another way to sit is simply with your legs stretched out in front of you. This might be hard for some people, but try it. You never know. We're all different. Maybe you'll like it for a change. Okay. Another popular way of sitting is simply like this. Okay. This is called the 90-90 sit because our legs are, well, probably not exactly, but more or less at a 90-degree angle, each of them. Okay, so this is one way of sitting, one way, and of course, try to sit both ways, right, to the left, to the right. Another popular way, very comfortable for a lot of people, is to sit like this. Okay, so here I'm sitting on my heels, right, and again my back is straight. Okay. So I'm sitting on my heels. Another modification might be to sit on your toes, like to sit still. You're still sitting on your heels, but your toes are curled under. Try to uncurl also the little pinky toe, okay, to make sure you're stretching all your toes. This is not comfortable for sitting for long periods of time, but it's really good as a stretch for your toes. So try to incorporate that too, also into your sitting game. Okay, from time to time. So here are a couple of ideas for you to try. Of course, there are many other ways to sit, and we're going to try to explore those in the future. But for today, just try these and try to sit in different ways, just like move throughout the day. Don't always sit in the same position, no matter what it is. Like if you're comfortable like this, you might want to sit like this for hours, but still try to mix it up a little bit. Now, I know a lot of people are not necessarily comfortable sitting like this. If we're not used to it, our back is going to start to hurt. Very often people have this pain up here, right? In the kind of middle of the back. You might find that your knees are hurting you, your hips, your feet, your ankles. You might find it hard because you're not used to using the core to keep yourself straight. Your shoulders might be kind of uncomfortable. So, if you're not comfortable sitting like this, first of all, one thing you can do is try to lean against something, okay? So sit this is not a wall. I don't have a wall here, but imagine I'm sitting at a wall. So I can try to lean on the wall, right? And this is already more comfortable. Also here, when I have a wall behind me, I can also stretch out my legs easier, right? Another thing I can do is to sit like this, right? This is good if you're reading or if you're watching TV maybe or something like this. You can try to sit like this. Sitting at the wall, you can also try to connect your feet, yeah, for another option, right? And then if you're sitting like this, you can even try to flap your wings a little bit. It's a very nice exercise here for the thighs and the hips. Okay, so sitting, leaning, so sitting cross-legged against the wall is the first variation. Now, another thing you can do if you don't have a wall or if you don't want to sit at a wall, take a pillow or a cushion or a rolled up blanket or a towel or anything and just place it underneath your sitting bones, just to give yourself a little bit of elevation. So let me just demonstrate it sideways. So just sit at the edge of this pillow or cushion or whatever it is and choose a stick of a prop as you need, you know. If it's not enough for you, you can roll it in half and sit higher still, right? But the idea is you want to be sitting on the edge of it, so it just gives you a little bit of a lift, and then it's a little bit easier because there's less pressure on your back and your core. Okay, you're leaning a little bit forward, so it makes it easier to sit like this. Okay, so this is one thing you can try. Just sit on the edge, just on the edge of your sitting bones. Another thing, and you might want to do all of them at the same time if you like. Another thing you can do, for a lot of people, this is a little bit painful on the knees or in the hips at the beginning. So you can use something like this is a yoga block, but of course it can be anything, a rolled up cushion, some kind of a towel or blanket. Just place them underneath the knees or a little bit higher, depending on where, just to make it comfortable, right? Maybe like this, depending on what you need, okay? So try this. Try to sit like this at least for a few minutes every day. You don't need to stay like this for a long time. You know, your body has to get used to it. So at the beginning, it might be uncomfortable. At the beginning, it might even be very uncomfortable. But don't give up, okay? Just try to a little bit. You're watching a movie, sit like this a little bit, and then stretch out your legs. And then after maybe half an hour or however much time you want, try it again and just try it throughout the day. And hopefully it will get more comfortable and you're gonna start to feel the effects of this position, which is really good for the hips. It's just a really good position for you, so try it out.